Hey everybody, we're back on our little segments. We call them the 10-minute segments. That's probably not the smartest name in the world. Where we get questions every month. Probably, I used to say we get 50 questions a month. We're getting about 250 questions a month anyway, but we pull them out of a hat and then we bring somebody on and then we burden them with these questions. And I'll get to the question in a minute. Mike, thanks for joining us. Tell us, reintroduce yourself. If y'all haven't seen Mike yet, you need to. And I think he rides a bike a lot. I don't know. Maybe it's just in the picture. Maybe that's not
Well,
real.
it's all fictitious. It's a background. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I'm Mike Vazquez. I'm currently a director with Avanti, and really I lead the services team here in North America, as well as I have a enterprise support team that is reporting into me as well. So it's a little bit of a mixture between support and services, and what I end up having to take care of on a day to day basis.
And that's why Mike has no hair. But I also want to let everybody know Mike is also on our advisory board. So, and Mike and I are actually going to see each other twice today. So I apologize. So the question for Mike today, but remember, there's no prep. You just come in and we
Yep.
talk. It's what's the best part of being a PS leader?
Wow.
Or several
Yeah.
parts. But it doesn't have to be just
Yeah.
one.
I mean, I kind of break it into two categories of best part. Helping our customers become successful and learning and growing within the products that they use and how we deliver our services. That's obviously, a very big kind of broad topic of what we, think is important, and being the best part of that is ensuring that customers are successful. Now, the second part of that, I would say, is to make your customers really successful. It comes down to the team and being able to educate and train the team to be better services engineers or consultants, and being able to help them grow. And that's honestly the best part of my job, is seeing them grow and build better careers and better career paths in their and seeing them successful with their customers and who they're working with.
Yeah, I think that's I do a lot of senior executive leadership training, and not on purpose, but I do a lot. And I always have to start with leadership's about other people, and you will be surprised, or I'm always surprised, how many people go, "What? No, it's only about other people."
Yeah, it,
I wish I could tell you there was anything about us ever. It's never. It's always about the other people, and that's what it is. But the one thing you didn't mention, and I want to get back
yeah,
to the people. One thing you didn't mention that I've heard a lot of over my whole career, but a lot of talk recently is the variety of getting to work with all the different clients. And one of the nice things, it's a lot more complicated to be, no secret. PS is more complicated than any other job in tech. Okay. Right. And less understood by every other job in tech. Right. And that's the burden.
yeah.
But we get to go in and see, oh, that they're like this and they're like that, and they see things differently. It keeps it fresh.
It does. And talking with my team over the years, give you an example of, some of these team members that I've, had for years working with me, they've worked with over 700 different customers over the years. That's 600 or 700 different environments and different uh, areas that they get to experience and see what works in what businesses and what doesn't, and what they get real exposure to seeing how other businesses function and work, and how they can think of, well, if I was to leave this job and go into becoming an IT manager, what would I do differently? What would I gather from this group here and say, I want to use that in my, if I'm building out an organization, and how they can become successful.
Yeah, yeah. I also think that it forces good communication. It forces so many good habits. They help you in your career. That's why so many consultant PS people run companies. But also, I have a lot of children. I have 5 grown children, and I've heard them say, "Oh, I'm good at this because I was raised in a professional service firm." And I go, "What? Well, you would like? Oh, don't say it like that. You can't come to me and get money if you package it like that, cascade it down for me. So I think there's some benefits to all our lives by getting this pressure. But you also mentioned the challenge, and I'm going to come back and make this a
Yep.
positive. But the challenge of having to see so many accounts,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, yeah. I think one of the things we're working on this year is to put together a very specific way to keep track of and manage when you have to, as a PS person, when you have such a breadth, how to keep track of what implied promises, real promises, problems, without making it overly bureaucratic. Because all the tools I know of right now I looked at one the other day and I said, well, a client, I said, well, tell me what you shared, why they didn't get it. And they gave me like 150 pages. And I go, well, they're not going to read it.
No, no,
No,
yeah,
no one cares. The project is shorter than 150 pages.
right. Yeah, well, and that's where we have to, part of our job as consultants is to make things digestible. Because if you send a manual on a product, there's going to be 1,000 pages. Nobody's going to read 1,000 pages, or very few people are going to go and do that anyway.
And we don't want to know
No,
that. Those that would read
no.
that, we don't want to know.
And ultimately, we need to discuss what are they looking to do? How can we make them successful, and define what those goals are to get them to that path? Now, when you've worked with across every industry out there and hundreds of customers, you can start getting a good feel of what each of these different customers are looking for, whether it's government, pharmaceuticals, financial. They all have different requirements, but they all start having very similar needs and how we can address those needs. So
Yeah, patterns.
there are patterns, absolutely. And
Yeah. Well, the reverse of that, I think you do. I played a lot of chess as a child. I was a nerdy child, and now I'm a nerdy adult. Okay, let's just get that out of the way. And I'm an older nerdy adult. I'm not even a young nerdy adult. But one of the things, and this is why I wanted to get back to people, keeping people motivated when the stress is always on, and I have so much variety, and if I get good at the patterns, I could lose my edge. I could become a little commonplace. So one is the motivating them to keep after it, and I'd love your opinion about and how to keep it interesting for them.
yeah, well, being in the tech field specifically, technology is always changing. It's always growing. So that in itself can be what leads them of, hey, I'm learning something new. I'm doing something new. If it's continually evolving and changing, it really helps them versus feeling stagnant, like I've been doing the same thing for the last 5 years. That doesn't really help. But if products are evolving and changing, that certainly helps with that whole motivation to begin with. Working with all the different customers, seeing those different environments, that also helps. As long as we are continuing to build a career path for them and help them grow individually, it keeps them interested. If people just feel like they're stagnated, they're not going to get interested and continue wanting to do what they do.
Yeah, I think you made a passing comment there that's really important. Is I don't think we put enough effort as our industry in clear and meaningful career paths.
Yeah, I kind of look at this, if I can help some of my leaders build a career path where they could take my job in theory and I have a succession plan, that means it frees me up to do other things that I may be more interested in doing, or expanding what we do, and not have to be pigeonholed or stuck. And they get to grow, and they help in turn build their teams to grow as well. So if we're all looking at how do we succeed and continuing to grow, it frees us up to do more meaningful things.
So it's been great as always, Mike. Leave us with one or two thoughts that we can, implement like tomorrow, and leave out shaving your head because I think we both have already mastered that.
Yes. Yeah. I would say we talked about working with so many different customers and kind of working through this. Some of the bad habits that can happen is because you've worked with so many customers that are very similar and the same industry, they may ask a lot of the same questions. And that then leads to we're not really listening to what their needs are. And so active listening and really paying attention and just keeping it in the back of your heads to continue to listen to customers, even if you've heard the same questions 1,000 times. We need to let them talk and work through that process, because a lot of the listening process is not just receiving a question, but allowing that customer to work through what their thoughts are and understanding and how they're formulating their questions and knowledge. And it helps you understand where their knowledge gaps are. So if we always speed through customers or cut them off because we know the answer, it doesn't help them become successful, and it leads to bad habits. So active listening is definitely one of the biggest things we can do as consultants for our customers.
Excellent, Mike. Excellent. And I do think that we're never going to end needing to encourage active listening. And I always say, and it's particularly tough for some technical, I grew up technical people as they come across, because they may not enjoy humans as much as, and if you enjoy humans, it's easier. And I'm not judging enjoying or not. I'm just saying, hey, if it's fun for you, then it's easier. But if it's a burden, if the people side's a burden, that makes it hard.
That's honestly the hardest thing to teach a consultant is, the communication and the interpersonal skills, not the technology. Technology tends to be easier to teach people than those communication skills. That takes a longer time to develop and how they develop it.
Yeah, there's an art to it. One of the things somebody just asked us is to put together a comparison of our development to LinkedIn Learning. And that was fun for, my nerdiness. So I said, hey, we have 317 learning objectives. I said, we'll never show this to anybody. I want every learning objective compared, right? Because I wanted to and they go, well, are we going to summarize it? Can't summarize it until we do all the detail, So, all right. Thanks, Mike, so much. Everybody, if you don't follow Mike, you need to. He's just a wealth of knowledge and a darn good guy, too. And he could hook you up with a hat. We'll talk about that another time.
Definitely. All right.